Almost. 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 Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Akula, and for today's video, let's get nostalgic. With all the Season 5 quests taking place in a dark map, as well as us playing as a zombie on one of the quests, combined with some old footage that I found, I thought, why not make a video about Shadowfall and get a little bit nostalgic about the event that we had almost 1 year ago. Now before we start, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I had one of these zombies in a crate, I jumped. I definitely jumped. I know this is not a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill game, but throughout this entire event that we had during Halloween, I actually was opening the crates very cautiously, just hoping not to be scared, especially when you have headphones on with loud volume on so you can hear the footsteps of the zombies chasing you, and then all of a sudden you forget that it is actually quite high volume. You open the crate and then boom, you have the zombie shouting and trying to kill you. So, man, I guess I need to definitely work on my scary games, don't I? Now to start off, one of the things I absolutely loved about this mode is just the tactics change. Honestly, I know many people play this online as well, but in this game mode, you are pretty much hunting or being hunted. So people were running around very cautiously. As you can see, I was stuck in the pipeline using my headphones. The zombies were running left, right, above me, below me, and yeah, you're trying to bamboozle them and hopefully not die. And that was one of the first things that I think people really did not expect, but really had to quickly adapt, especially when you were playing as a zombie. After you get killed, you get turned into a zombie, you fly back down, and the problem with that is you actually never got a gun. So as you can see, people are trying to use objects and buildings as cover, trying to actually blend in with the environment. Obviously, being a dark zombie did help in this environment. Basically, not only was this a very fast-paced type of game, people just got really creative, and I absolutely loved it. And honestly, I was even impressed every now and then with people's creativity. Like, for example, hiding behind this corner right now. Me throwing the grenade, just trying to get them out of the space. And in this game mode, I think when you were alive, staying out in the open was probably your best chance of surviving. Of course, there was always a chance that you would develop a love-hate relationship with a player that you had killed before, because there were revenge kills in this game, and you could also see the person that killed you. So once you got killed as a zombie, you definitely had the chance to fly back where you were killed, find the enemy, so that could have caught you off guard. But I think if you had headphones, you could pretty much hear everyone. I also love that as a zombie you had to really adapt. A lot of people did zigzag, sliding, any way to try to avoid getting shot and at the same time trying to knock you down as a player. Now don't get fooled, even though the footage shows me constantly shooting zombies and zombies running around, as a living player there was a lot of hiding involved as part of the tactics. And as you can see, a perfect example, the guy in the far background going full cowabunga as a zombie trying to go and get his revenge kill. Now, as you can see, there was a lot of running involved in this special event, and with this in mind, that's when certain legends definitely had an advantage over others. After the first few hours of this event being released, realized that the most popular ones were Mirage, definitely Octane, but also people quite often use Pathfinder, especially in the beginning, not so much towards the end of the event, and also they used Wraith, because they all had movability advantages, so that definitely was something that people tried to use the most to their advantage. I also have seen a lot of people use Watson, but that's more for the actual hiding, camping, and then just to get the challenges of getting an X amount of kills. And the last 100 meters were always the most adrenaline pumping. Let's be honest, we all ran. We tried to bamboozle ourselves, use our tacticals, use the super speed from Octane. It was just pretty much a lot of luck and some awesome dodging of the zombies, and pretty much an awesome feeling that you had when you finally made it to the EVAC ship with hopefully at least some of your fellow champions that have survived the level. Not gonna lie, seeing more than the usual 3 people as the winners was actually a really nice touch. What was even a cooler touch is when you won as the zombies and you see the whole squad there. That was actually pretty cool. Now, before continuing the video and talking about some of the negatives that we had during this event, don't lie to me, at some point all of us tried to blend in with the environment like the tree and tried to do some silly tactics like this one. Now, unfortunately, even though this event was super fun, people got creative with the tactics, especially in zombie mode, I gotta admit, lots of adrenaline pumping in different stages, whether you're trying to not be hunted, you're trying to hunt someone, or like I mentioned, you do the last 100-meter dash hoping you survive and make it to the evac shield. This particular mode did have some flaws, and in my honest opinion, there was definitely a lot of things that could have been improved, but unfortunately, since it was a 1 or 2 week event during Halloween, obviously Respawn did not have time. One of them is just the balance of teams. Everyone who has played this event pretty much know that in the very beginning, it was actually really hard to win. And the reason for this is just how the game mode worked. At the beginning, everyone drops down solo mode, so not in teams, and you pretty much continue fighting each other normally as per the normal Apex Legends Battle Royale mode. The only difference is when you do get killed, you came back as a zombie, and also unlimited amount of times, so that's where actually the cool rivalries came into play. But because this event was new, Apex never had anything similar, especially involving zombies and additional type of elements like we saw in this event. People pretty much played to the end, so they were killing each other, becoming zombies, a lot of zombies on the level, and as you can see, they were really running really fast, killing people really quickly, and this continued until there were only 10 living players left. Once the number went down to only 10 players, all the living players actually became friendlies in one team, and that's where the evac ship landed, somewhere on the map, and basically your objective changed from killing each other to working together to survive and get to the evac ship. So basically, you know, running as fast as you can at the very end, and before that, just camping it out somewhere. And with this in mind, in the very beginning, people died, they continued playing as a zombie until the very end. So as you can imagine, there were 10 living players and a lot of zombies. And that's why it was really hard to win, because a lot of the times the teams did not survive and pretty much got all killed and the zombies would win. But as the event continued, I think people just got really bored of the event, and as soon as they died, they just exited the game. So towards the very end of the event, basically what happened is people died, people didn't want to play as a zombie, left the game, and that's where it completely changed from very hard to win the game as a living player to very hard to win the game as a zombie, because you just did not have enough zombies to overwhelm the living players, especially the last 10. I also need to remind you that as a zombie you never had the guns, so definitely something that Respawn did not think through. And hopefully if we do have anything similar in the future, they will incorporate a certain element in the game, a certain objective to hopefully promote people staying to the very end of the game and not just logging out. Another thing, this game was not just all rainbows and sunshine, especially as a zombie. I know you've seen a lot of cool kills as a living player, I know you've seen a lot of really cool and quick kills as a zombie, but at the same time there was a lot of this. Just a lot of dying as a zombie, getting one-shotted, getting headshotted, and it was just death after death after death. And even when you did develop a rivalry with a particular player, sometimes the players were just too good, and after dying 3 or 4 times you kind of just give up on that player and try to land somewhere else and get someone else down instead. Now I'm not gonna lie, as a zombie, when you deny a player access to the evac ship just before they get there, it was definitely satisfying. As you saw the very first few seconds of this video, sometimes dying 20 times in one game was worth it if you can just take that one player out 10 or so meters just before they complete the game. To summarize my thoughts on this Shadowfall mode that we had during Halloween, I loved it. It was very different. It was the first time we really experienced a new map, or at least the color schemes of the new map. It was quite different. We got to play zombies, and then we also had those ghouls in the craters. Never had anything similar to that before in Apex when this came out. At the same time, this game did have any flaws, and it did make people lose a lot of interest, especially towards the end. The teams were never really balanced. At the beginning, it was very hard to win as a living player. In the end of the event, it was really hard to win as a zombie. So hopefully in the future, if we do have a similar mode in any of the special events, Respawn will take things like this into consideration. Now, this might not be a popular opinion, but for next Halloween, I would actually love to have something similar, hopefully with a few tweaks here and there, but it would be amazing to have a similar event on the World's Edge map rather than the King's Canyon that we have right now in Season 5. Probably would need to add many more players just to boost up the zombie amount, especially in such an open map. but I think it would definitely be really fun and a really cool Halloween event for 2020. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for sticking around and watching all of the gameplay footage as well as some of my thoughts and opinions about the Shadowfall event that we had back a while. If you liked this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications button, and smash that like button. And did you like the event? Let me know down in the comments below. Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? And do you want anything similar to ever come back? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.